Today is May 6, 2014, back with the Pennystocking Podcast. Got a few things to go over today. I'm still kind of just working towards getting a few episodes here in the tank of some basic strategies, some trades of the day. And one thing I want to go over today was kind of, you might notice I kind of got a stuffy nose, and I want to go over kind of the mental and physical aspects of trading. I think quite frequently it's considered to be like easy physically. I don't think anybody doubts the mental aspects of the difficulty mentally. But I think a lot of times physically it's overlooked how difficult it can be, and especially when you're in poor physical condition. I had very, very poor trading today, made countless mistakes. You know, the nice thing is I controlled my losses, but I made several bad trades and ended up benching myself because I sat there staring at the wall trying to figure out, okay, what am I doing wrong here? And I realized that, number one, I've got a little bit of a lingering cold, and number two, it can be embarrassing, but I just was kind of hanging out last night and drank a few beers and stayed up too late. And because of that, I slept like shit. While I drink plenty of beer and enjoy it, it always ruins my sleep. I get up early pretty much every day, but even after I have a few beers, I get up early. But it's just you got that fog, and I think the cold magnified that, and then the lack of sleep, and I thought I was prepared, did a watch list, which is one of the techniques I strongly recommend, which will be coming in my Pennystocking, how to trade penny stocks ebook, which I actually finally made some progress on, and I'm committed to kind of keep pushing ahead now that I have made this transition into, for lack of a better term, a full-time day trader. But anyway, I got up, felt like shit, went through the motions of getting ready and the pregame ritual, and within 15 minutes I'd traded HDY poorly and WPRT poorly and lost I think about $300 each on both of them, which exceeded my kind of daily loss. That was a $600 loss, and I just try and force myself to, especially that early, just bang, bang. I just said, you know what, it's not working today. It dawned on me after a little bit of introspection that I just wasn't feeling that great. Mentally and physically wasn't there. And I think, again, I kind of jumped over that, but I think the physical affects the mental so much. You know, it doesn't matter how well rested my brain is if I've got a cold, if I've got a mild hangover, if I didn't sleep well. And, it's only going to get worse if I keep pushing. That's another lesson learned is, if you take two losses on poor trades, I'll go over them here in a second, but, you got to just throw in the towel, because if anything, you're just going to continue to push harder and harder and make more, losses beget losses for most people. At least for me and a lot of guys I know, there's just a time where you got to just reboot and call it a day. And that's what I did. Now, the good news is I caught up on a lot of stuff. Again, a lot of this writing and getting ready for this ebook. So I got, it's not like I just went back to bed, but trading, it was not there today. And another lesson I would say is just, take an assessment of yourself each day. And if you've got a cold, and if you slept like shit, then you know what, maybe just go back to bed and trade the afternoon or do something else, work through your to-do list or whatever. But, anyway, I'll hit the kind of the trades of the day, and I realize some of these will be audio, so you may not be able to see the chart, so I'll be maybe a little overly descriptive. But one of the plays yesterday, and actually that's another reason why I benched myself today, is HDY is the ticker. I kept trying to trade it yesterday, little loss after little loss, and just never gave it time to stop surging. And yesterday it was just strong. And I mean, especially this morning action in the low twos. I mean, it spiked up on some weird lawsuit news, some force majeure. I don't even know what the hell that is. But long term, short term, I don't know. It may be great news, but excuse me. If you look short term, it appears that whatever it is isn't going to be, isn't going to have any lasting power. So anyway, this stock had flatlined in the low ones, jumped to the mid twos, and that's where I and 2/3 of the penny stocking idiots out there tried shorting it. And you could see midday, if you bring up a chart of it, I mean, it just spikes and blows up and goes up to the high fours. Then, so it should have never touched it on the short side yesterday. There was never really any good entry. It never did anything that would make it a good short, other than the fact that it was up big. And that's the number one, in my opinion, mistake that short sellers make is, and whether you're new, whether you're a rookie or a veteran, is just shorting something just because it's up. Okay, HDY is a perfect example. It was up, damn near 100%, and you're saying, oh, well, it can't go up any higher. I should be able to short that and get 10%, 20% back. Well, no, you won't, because then it went up. What is that? What is 300% or whatever, 480 is versus 140 the day closed before that. So that's you just got to, and as long as you keep a tight stop, which I did, it's not going to put you out of business. It grinds you, it pisses you off, it frustrates you, but it won't kill you as long as you keep a tight stop. Now, if you don't have a stop on a stock like this, you're out of business. Okay, you're going back to bagging fucking groceries because trading's not for you. But so today, I need to check stocks to trade. I don't think I don't have. Or do I have? Well, pre-market, I guess. It really looked pretty weak pre-market, so I shorted it. And then you could see this first candle, boom, instantly squeezed me out. I think I shorted in the low fours and then got 1,000 shares. I mean, I didn't go in big. Again, especially pre-market, I never go in big. But squeezed out for 20 or 30 cents, so it was like a $300 loss. And now the bummer is, if you look, this becomes a pretty decent short. It bangs around 420s all morning, and then mid-afternoon it kind of tips over and faded. Now, not a huge drop, but I mean there's 30, 40 cents a share there that looks pretty easy to grab. And then it spiked late day, but then faded right down to the low of the day. And so this could be a potentially pretty good swing short. Now, that's always the bummer of getting stopped out, is always the coulda, woulda, shoulda type stuff. But obviously, if I held this all day, I'd be sitting all right going in, and I tell you, it's sitting on the lows of the day. This thing could panic in the morning. So, but you got to honor your stops and just never look back, other than when you're doing a podcast or a trade video. The other one I lost on was WPRT. This is another just poor short. I mean, I was just, again, this is earnings winner. It's a strong stock, and I shorted it this morning because it was banging around like on the low 16s, and pre-market and right at the open looked like it was going to crack 16. Well, it didn't. And then, of course, it spiked, because, I mean, just like $4 with HDY and $16 with WPRT, I mean, these stocks it's painfully obvious in hindsight sometimes, but whole dollar amounts, they'll just bounce off of them. And you can see, if you bring up a chart of it, I mean, it hit 16 and then was up all day into the high 16s. Now, again, in hindsight, you kind of look and there's some decent topping action. I mean, these are 15-minute candles here, and you could see that it stalled at the high 16s and 1680s, and then it faded all day for 40 cents. Now, I don't know, kind of low volume now. It's easy to pick a top afterwards, but I guess what I'm trying to get at is me shorting right at the open was foolish. I mean, odds are it's going to spike. It's bouncing off 16. It's got good news. If you look at the overall trend over 3 days, I mean, it's just progressing up. And so poor short there. The other play of the day, which was pretty interesting, is, let me see if I can get the ticker right. This was the pump and dump of the day, of the last couple days, PGFY. I have not verified this myself, but I've heard several sources this was a promoted stock. My broker, Interactive Brokers, didn't have any shares when I tried to short it. I guess they did have some at times, but there were brokers with shares, and I mean, this is a beauty. This is the ones that really bum you out. Again, you can see it just goes straight up from nothing. If you look at the news, they're denying unusual market activity. There's all over Twitter that this is a promoted stock. So, yesterday into the close, easy short. I mean, it drops $1 a share up until bottomed at 11:30. So from where you can kind of see it topping at 3 o'clock yesterday to 11:30 this morning, I mean, damn near $1 a share. So those are the ones you wait for, and those are the ones you got to be ready for, and they're the ones you got to have the right brokers for. Interactive Brokers is usually pretty good, but a lot of these OTC stocks could be pretty mixed. Now, there are brokers available. I know Tim Sykes calls it his special broker. I mean, I think you can pay him for the name, or if you're a subscriber, I believe he gives you the name of that. And I think it probably within some aggressive Googling, you could probably figure it out too. But that was a hell of a play. So those were the three of the day. And, and that's another thing I try and focus on, and something I've been doing the last couple weeks that should have dawned on me, but didn't really until recently. I've been over trading. I've been churning a lot. I go up a couple grand, I come back a grand. I go up a couple grand, I come back a grand, and it's frustrating. I mean, my profit chart is gradually moving up, but not where I'd like to see it. And I'm just going to scale back and not trade as much and really try and get into that sniper mode. I've been using the machine gun method lately and just spraying shit everywhere. And while you can make profits that way and shorting strong stocks in the morning, and shorting earnings winners, you can make money that way sometimes, but long haul, no. And it just gets frustrating over time. One of the trading rules I'd always kind of had mentally that I just wrote down and I'm going to start enforcing is, my goal is 0 to 3 trades a day. This stuff of doing 6-10 trades a day, it doesn't work for me. I think it's pretty common. I mean, there are guys that are good at it, no doubt, but I don't think I've never been very good at it in 5 to 7 years. Don't seem to be getting any better at it. I just don't really like it. I don't like watching multiple positions. It seems to me when you've got 2 or 3 positions and one starts moving against you, it's just difficult. I mean, again, I know guys do it and I know guys are successful, but it's not for me. I guess I just don't have the multitasking ability. But so that's my goal, is to really start trading less, and trading better setups, as opposed to trying to push, again, HDY. I don't know. I won't, especially time will tell. I mean, if this thing cracks tomorrow and ends up back at $2, then I'll be totally patting myself on the back that, or supporting myself shorting it, I guess. But WPRT, I should have never traded that on the short side. I mean, that's a strong stock. That was dumb, and that's just over trading and fishing. So lessons for today are, I mean, if you're going to trade, you got to take care of yourself, man. There's no, you may be successful, you may win if you're not eating right and not sleeping and staying up late drinking, but long term you're not going to succeed and you'll never reach your full potential. Trading takes 100% of everything. I mean, mentally, spiritually, physically. I mean, it's a toll. But what I'll go over in a lot of the future podcasts is, man, to me, there's no more to me, it's like the perfect career. I mean, what better way, to make money than to be able to just grab market momentum and make money and then be able to just close the laptop and walk away. No worries, carefree, none of this holding stocks long term, praying. It's really an awesome way to make money, and just in this day and age where you cannot count on any employer to support you or start a business, and just the beauty of technology is creative destruction. So we have all these awesome services and products and devices, but man, it's also there's just no industry untouched by technology anymore, and it's difficult to be out there and just not get destroyed. I mean, even if you are a small business or a medium-sized business, and all of a sudden a competitor comes along and within 6 months wipes you off the face of the earth. Markets, it's just it's just you and your discipline, you and your rules, and every day there's solid opportunities. Every day there is and I can never. What is it? There's a PGFY. Sorry, man, that one. Sometimes it's weird. I can remember hundreds of tickers, but sometimes certain ones I just cannot remember. PGFY is the bane of my existence. But anyway, every day there's a new opportunity. And you know what? If you miss it, so what? I'm going to be gone the next 3 days and won't be trading. I'm actually a camp counselor at a wilderness camp, which I'm actually looking forward to. It's one of the things I really like doing is trying to make a difference in youth, especially young males. I think young males are one of the, a left behind demographic, and I try and make a positive influence in a lot of these guys' lives and teach them hopefully how to be good guys. And so I'll be at that next 3 days. I don't even know if there is internet. If there is, it's probably mediocre. So I'm not going to trade. But you know what? Come Monday, there'll be a wealth of opportunities, and every day is a new day. You may want to throw your laptop some days, but all you got to do is open it up the next day, follow your rules, follow your discipline, stick to your plan, and you can have all the freedom in the world. So thanks a lot, and like I said, I'll be gone for 3 days, but I will be back on Monday with another podcast. Thanks a lot.